Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa sallam. So this is coming to a close to a 4-part series, inshallah, in which we'll be covering and finishing up our 6th module today. So we're starting with the last component of the 5th module, in which I wanted to walk you all through the New Muslim Mentoring Manual. This is a manual that you can utilize as you have completed your training and then you are actually training and mentoring new Muslims. So it could be a handy resource for you as a mentor, as a coach, and as well as it's also used as we are onboarding a new coach or new mentor to help them go through a training and come to a point where they can actually be evaluated once they've completed the training. So let me bring up the manual on the screen here. Okay, so this is the manual that we use, and obviously you can make a copy of it and you can customize this document however you want if you are running a different team at a different masjid, different organization, and so on and so forth. So you can also utilize that as well. Give me one moment here. Okay, so this is a link to this video that kind of describes what this document has, and this is a shortcut link, the bit.ly link to get to this document. So obviously and then we have a table of contents here where you can utilize to jump in to different sections of the document as you are utilizing it, especially once you have gone through the initial training. So we talked about what our mission is, what's going to be our culture. We want to protect our du'as, our mentors first. So make sure you're not burning out. Make sure your deen is not being impacted. We also expect commitment and accountability and integrity and respect for all members of the team. So these are some of the links that's related to one of the teams. Again, you may be part of a different team, different masjid, different organization, and you can have your own links that you can use for your mentors as well. And this is a form that we use with one of the teams to refer new Muslims to. And again, there may be various teams in the city that you are in or the country and whatnot. And then you could have other links that may be used by a new Muslim mentoring team to get people recommended to them or get people referred to them. So that's very important, right? As we mentioned earlier in the modules, that you would introduce yourself to different imams, different community members who can pass on new Muslims to you. So you need to have a system where people can actually either just send you the contact or put in the information in the form so that you can actually work with that, inshallah. So, so again, the way we have done this is, I don't think we need this anymore. I'm going to remove this. Is basically it's a self-paced thing. We want people to come in, go through the training, show us that they're committed, they are self-motivated, right? Because we would not have the time to handle people. And if you're not self-motivated, then you can easily fall off the radar, right? It's not something that we do as a group. It's something that you have to do individually as a mentor. It's not like street dawah where people get together and they go out together, which is a group activity. This is mostly done individually. We do have, let's say a monthly meeting where coaches and mentors can come online and share their experiences, ask their questions, and so on and so forth. So right now we, for example, have 2 monthly calls that we do in the evening time. So coaches can come on any of those calls and ask their questions, share their experiences, shares what's working for them, what's a blocker, what are some of the obstacles, and so on and so forth. If you become a coach and you're interested in joining any of those, you can also reach out and I can let you know which calls that you can, inshallah, join. So the way that this training is done is basically, again, in 2 parts. One is the basic foundational training and one is extra training, optional training, which can help you become a better coach, a better da'i, but it's optional. So before you can actually be onboarded with our team, you have to go through the foundational course training and then reach out and say, hey, you know what, I've completed a foundational training. And then what we will do is we'll, give you a test, open book test, just to make sure that you have understood the content. Perhaps if needed, get on a call with you, and then you can join the team. So obviously, we definitely encourage and expect that all the mentors, the coaches are taking care of their religion as well. And we expect them to be at least committed to half an hour or 45 minutes of class or lecture or halaqah, what have you, to keep up with their own development. Okay, so again, the accountability is weekly. So when you are going through the training, we expect the person going through the training to send us a WhatsApp message or email or whatever it works. Just put your name and, keep us posted with how much training you have completed every week. Or if you need to take a break, you say, hey, this week I'm away. And then also what you're doing for your Islamic education. Once you have become a mentor, then you can just do another follow-up form, which is basic or WhatsApp message or whatever the form you guys would like to use for your team. And then say, you know what, this is what's happening with my mentor, progressing, not progressing, responding, not responding, what they have learned, so on and so forth. And also what you're doing about your Islamic training. So in terms of the mandatory content, so this is the Dawah training that's mandatory, especially if you're joining the IERA team. And then you have other optional training if you want, that's also linked from here that gives you further training. But even if you just do the basic, that's good enough. That's the basic. If you want to be more advanced, learn more different techniques, because it's an art, right? Dawah is an art. So if you want more techniques, more ideas, then you can also utilize the optional training. The video playlist, right? It's divided into 6 modules, small parts, short videos, and then the link to the slides is also here. So I'm just going to remove this. Actually, I think this is not important. Okay, this shows you an example of a weekly follow-up module and so on and so forth. Now in section 3 here, what I've tried to cover, and we keep adding more information here, some of the common questions that come up, right? So there's some guidance here basically about common questions about telling parents and so on and so forth. What are some of the things to keep in mind for some people who may need housing and whatnot? Especially in Toronto, we have put in some organization names that kind of look after that. Another common thing that I've encountered is many people would hear from their friends or family members about alcohol, and they would think that, okay, if I drink, then I should not be praying for 40 days, right? So that's not what it means, that that your prayers obligation is waived off once you have consumed alcohol. So that's a common myth. So that's been explained in these videos. You can utilize that to keep an eye. Sometimes people don't pray, and that's how their mind is working, that I don't want to pray because I have consumed alcohol or some other substance. For Toronto, for example, this is for the basic community, different job groups, networking groups, so we can share with them. I'm sure other cities may have similar groups as well. These are some of the contemporary resources, especially from a North American perspective, on different fatwas, especially related to new Muslim. You have this link that kind of points to that. Okay, so sometimes they may bring up the topic of marriage. Some people do it too fast, too hasty and whatnot. So some guidance about this is also communicated here. So these are some of the things that you should be aware of as a coach, and at least be aware of where it is. So when it comes up with your mentee, with your new Muslim, then you can come back to it and look at it. Same thing with divorce and things like that have come up. We have captured it here. So hijab question that sometimes comes up, right? A new Muslim would say, well, is it must for me to wear hijab, or I'm struggling with it, and so on and so forth. And then another question that has come up with is madhab. And as I'm saying, is not something that everyone will ask you. Some people may. So this is something that you have it. So now these things, I haven't linked anything because it requires more discussion. So we have a bigger document, which is under this link, Empowering Muslim. So if you click on that, you can get to this bigger document if you need to be, and it has a lot more details. So now, for example, if I do Control F or Command F, depending on what platform you're using, you can then, for example, type hijab, right? And it will take you to some pointers there, some videos there, some notes, how you can communicate that concept. If you type alcohol, it will take you there. If you type about madhab, it will take you there. Similarly, difference of, common things. There's a lot of stuff that's here that we have encountered over time. So we have compiled a way to deal with that. So if you choose to, you have something handy. If you want to do your own thing, discuss with the team, come up with your own approach, that can be done as well. But I would highly recommend to either utilize something that we have shared with you, or discuss it with your team as well. So this is Control F or Command F for Mac folks. Okay, so this is your ongoing toolkit once you have covered the training. So it gives you a template of, an initial text message or WhatsApp message that you can send them to get them on a call. Again, you can customize it however you like. If the person is motivated enough, there are typos here, let's fix that. you can give them this starter pack so they can have a look at it. This is something that we have seen earlier, and they can download these apps. So by the time they come to meet you, they would probably already have the apps downloaded. So you can just walk them through it as opposed to asking them to download it while they're with you, which you may need to, right? Depending on the person, but just something that you can utilize. We kind of give you the 4 pillars highlight again here. And then we talk about, okay, for motivation, here are some of the techniques you can use. And obviously, if you find new stuff, we will update the manual as well. So this is about the New Muslim, basics New Muslim course. You know, you have the credentials for IERA course if you don't want to create logins for yourself. So this is something to be used by the mentors if you are, you know, training, you're watching the videos and downloading the slides, and then you are teaching them yourself instead of them going and directly learning it, which some of the people may do and some may not do. This is again the section about prayers, right? Salah, wudu, and ghusl. So all of that is kind of linked from here. And then we talk about the 3rd pillar, which is goals, and 3rd and 4th pillar, which is goal setting and check-ins. So we talk about the Habit Share app that you can download from App Store. And then this video shows you how they can add, you know, accountability partners and so on and so forth. And then you have further resources, you know, so once you have reached here, then just reach out to us if you are coming on board with our team, and then we'll send you the evaluation document. If you are managing a new team, you're creating a new team, and you would like me to share with you the evaluation document that I use, you can send me an email or contact me, and I can share that with you. And if you like that, you can use that, or if you want, you can just create your own evaluation. So this way, as a manager, as a lead for or administrator of a team, it makes it easier. You know, many people would say, I'm interested, but not everyone who says interested has the consistency and commitment to follow through and complete the training and be dedicated. People get busy and so on and so forth. So this way, people can come in, they can go through the training, and once they've gone through the training, they have shown their dedication, they have shown consistency. You can give them the evaluation. If they do evaluation well, you can have a call with them and then, you know, onboard them. Once you have done this, you should be ready to go. These are some extended training, you know, for further development around coaching, development, you know, habits, and so on and so forth. So you can go through it if you like. If you don't want to, that's fine. But these are some tools and things that are available for you to go through it. So this is basically an overview of this document. I know it's big. It's not probably the prettiest thing that you have seen. You know, it's not very colorful, but it gets the job done. And inshallah, at some point, if we find a good editor, whatnot, we can see if we can get it, you know, in a more colorful version. Perhaps we'll put these videos and slides. That was one of the suggestions given into an online learning platform like Teachable or something. It's just like a matter of finding time and resources to do it. But other than that, we'll get the job done. So before we wrap up this module, this component of module 5, which walks you through this training document, let's see if there are any questions related to this document. If there are any other questions, we can talk about it at the end. But if there are any questions related to this document, let's take it now.
My question is this, that those who are completing the this training which you have conducted, so they can get this document?
Yes, everybody has access to this document. It's a public document, right? I'm going to put in the, so if you're watching the recording, you will see the link to the document in the video description. For those who are here, I'm just going to put this link here in the chat, obviously, and then you, even if you just type this link in the browser, you should be able to access it. So there you go, in the chat. Yes, anything else? Okay, all right, so I think this is it regarding the document. So let's walk into the module 6 now. In one moment.